Hello, my name is Mildred Towns. I'm the host and life coach of Let's Be Real About It. It's a talk show, and this show is where we can be true and we can be real about life issues. We can speak about the traumatic and devastating things that have occurred in our lives or that may be occurring right now at this present time. We will talk with people from all races, all cultures, all religions, all nationalities, because hurt, pain, devastation, and traumatic experience has the ability to affect us all. It doesn't care. It crosses boundaries. It has no respect to person. So nobody is exempt from it. So it's time that we face the truth. It's time that we be real about the truth. It's time that we face life and stop passing the buck, as it say, or the buck, as it say. It's time to stop pointing the finger. It's time to be real. It's time to be real about what's happening in your life. It's time to be real about the issues in your life, because I know you, like me, want to be delivered and want to be set free and healed. And this is your opportunity. So let's be real about life. Let's be real about what's happening in your life. Let's be real about the life situations. God bless. Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Let's Be Real About It, where we are real about real life issues. Part 2 of the 12 steps. I'm your host, Mildred Towns. Our disclaimer is this is a no holds barred zone. Therefore, some of the contents of the show may be offensive to some, but that is not the intent of the show. And also that these episodes of the 12 steps are taken from the AA Big Book, from Google, and we also use our opinions and life experiences. We are not professionals or experts concerning the subject matters. But before I introduce my guest, I want to introduce you to my book, Truth, My Closet Secrets Revealed, as well as my brochure, Hear Me, A Cry from the Wound. My book, Truth, is about my life story. So I want you to order this book so you don't make the same mistakes that I made in my lifetime growing up, so you can avoid a whole lot of things that I just gave permission to. Hear Me, A Cry from the Wound, for anybody who of childbearing age and you're thinking about having an abortion, please, please, please email me at ihurtministries@gmail.com, and I will send you the information on how to get the book as well as how to get the brochure. And also, I just want to thank my sponsors for tonight, Zion City of Deliverance and J&K Style Grill.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage. We here at J&K Style and Grill with my main man.
J&K Style Grill, home of the original waffle burger, stuffed wings, and Philly steak egg roll.
The food was amazing, man. I'm talking about collard green stuffed chicken, mac and cheese stuffed chicken, waffle burger with the special sauce.
With the special sauce.
Come on, man. What are you doing if you ain't eating here? You're wasting your life.
Pull up.
J&K Style Grill, you can copy the style.
But never the best.
We got it.
We got it.
I'm excited about my guest tonight, Bernard Hurd. So we're going to go ahead and get him on here tonight. Hey, Bernard, how are you?
Hey, Mildred. How you doing? Hello, everybody.
I am well. I am well. As you may know, Bernard was a recent guest on the show in May, No Longer a Slave to Drugs and Alcohol. And also he was on last month with the 12 Steps of Recovery that we did last month. So I'm going to get you to go ahead and just introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Bernard. I am a recovering addict. I've had the pleasure of being sober since 1992. I can be reached at johnhurd47@gmail.com. It's my pleasure to be here today and to share My relationship with the Alcoholic Anonymous group, the 12 steps. So that's why I'm here today. It's my pleasure.
So we're glad that you're here. Also, we want you to keep in mind with the 12 steps of recovery that these steps work for any addiction that you may be suffering with, narcotics, overeaters. Uh, you may have a sex problem, may have a gambling problem, may have a debt problem, smoking problem. You may be a workaholic, you may be a shopaholic, whatever the addiction is, we want you to know that these steps will work for you as well. It's not just 12 steps for drugs and alcohol. It's 12 steps for whatever may be going on in your life. Now, with our Dr. Smith and Bill says something very, very important coming out of chapter 5. He said, rarely have they seen a person fail who have thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. He said that it's usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. So last month we talked about step 1, and that was where we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, food, whatever the addiction was, that our lives had become unmanageable. And the principle for step 1 was honesty. Did you want to touch on anything with that?
Well, that principle for step 1, honesty. Step 1 is when we admit that we are powerless over our present situation. In AA, in my case, it was alcohol and drugs. So step 1 was actually what I did when I admitted that I had a problem with it. That was me being as honest as I could possibly get, being at my lowest low, I realized that I needed help. So, step one, when you admit you're powerless over drugs and alcohol, the fact that your life has become unmanageable, you done already did the first step, and these steps are designed exactly to help you overcome your addiction, possibly to whatever, in my case, drugs and alcohol. So we had touched on that pretty much the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to me. I was at the end. Yeah.
So today we're going to be discussing steps 2 and step 3. It states in the 12-step book that all the 12 steps are just suggestions, and you have to keep an open mind. With every step, you got to have an open mind. So step 2 reads, came to believe a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So talk on that.
Okay. As a result of being at your low, and I knew I was, okay, step 2, okay, first I admitted I was powerless. Okay, so I need a power greater than myself to restore me. So at this point, I chose my greatest power, which is God. May you find him now.
May you find him now.
Yeah, so step 2, I knew I needed help, so, it ain't about being shamed. It's not about being ignorant, alcohol and drugs, like a lot of other things are addictions, they're addictions. It's a sickness. It's not it's not something to be ashamed of. Like you go to the doctor for anything else, when you need help, you go to the doctor. When you need this, you go to the chiropractor. Okay, when you need help with these addictions, you go to these 12 steps. This is your way out. So as a result of the first step, knowing that I needed help, I turned to God for help. Um, so yes, you need help. So this is what I did, um, like trying to do things on my own, using my own self will, thinking, well, I'll just stay away, or I'll just drink and instead of smoke, or going all around it. That doesn't work. Uh, these 12 steps give you a new set of rules to live by. You adopt these set of rules and you live by them, and as a result of these steps, you can get clean of almost anything. So the reason why I know it is because I dropped everything, and I did this, and I came out okay.
So step 2, the focus on step 2 is preparing a person with any addiction to let go of their need for control over everything in their lives. So basically, like one of the sayings go in FA and AA is let go and let God. So basically, you let go of your need to control things, because we can get in this stupor, and we want to control everything. We want to control people. We want to control everything that happens. But step 2 focus is let go of your need for control over everything and give it to God, your higher power. Give it to God, because what can you do with it?
Yeah, that's one of
your life unmanageable. You can't do anything with it.
That's one of the things that you learn when you go to AA meetings. They got all these little sayings, and one of those sayings is "let go and let God." When you've done all you can do, that's what they say. That's one of the sayings, and yeah, I asked God to one more time, help me out of my situation, and after the second time, this was my first time at rehab. My second time I went back, I was ready more than anything, and I gave up my way of thinking, and I asked God to lead me through this situation. And when I asked him, and I gave up, everything, I turned over, I gave my will over to him, and I did what these people asked me to do. It wasn't about what I was thinking, and I followed their suggestions, and I followed these 12 steps. So
let me ask you something. One of the spiritual principles of step 2 is trust, faith, trust, humility, willingness, and open-mindedness. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, how hard was it for you to humble yourself?
Well, when you're coming from your kneecaps, it's not very hard to humble yourself. Most people that come in these rooms, they're on the bottom already. It's either stay on your back or get up. So I needed to get up. I was at my wit's end. So I was willing to do whatever it took. Whatever it took, anything they asked me. It wasn't about shame in my game. It was about, I got one more chance. This is it. I'm standing across the street with one last chance to cross it. And I knew if I didn't cross it right, that was the end. And I fought hard to get up off my kneecaps. So this is what I did. I did what they asked me to do. I got in those rooms and I sat down with people I didn't know, and I buried my soul, and I told the truth, not only with them, but I started more than anything being honest with myself. And I honestly needed help. I needed help, and it wasn't no half nothing. And the book taught me half measures avail you nothing. So this right here, where you let go and let God, this is a definite. So step 2, you're on your way.
And it said, to be restored to sanity. So that means that if you have to be restored to it, at some point in time, you lost all clue of your ability to think, and behaved in a normal and rational manner. You didn't have the no longer had that sound mental health. And that's not just for you, that goes for me being a food addict, that goes for that person who's a shopaholic, that goes for that person, who's a compulsive liar, goes for that person, who can't put the Pepsi Colas down and the Coca-Colas down. They're so addicted to Pepsi. And so addicted to Coca-Cola till they can't put them down. So that goes for, you to be restored to sanity.
Yeah. We're insane.
We got to the point to where that's why our life was unmanageable, because we got to the point to where we were just crazy and just insane.
Yeah.
And not even realizing it.
Yeah. If you keep doing things, yesterday I stuck my finger in the wall outlet and it shocked me. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Or I put my hand on the stove and it burnt me. Okay. If I get up and do the same thing the next day, that's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's how crazy we were. If you get up and do the same thing that hurt you the day before, that's pretty crazy. That's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Different results.
Yeah. And these are habits, and this is one way to break them, drop your rules, and let your thinking go. Cause we madmen, we crazy women, we got to change our thought patterns. And this is a way to reprogram, to clear your mind and clear your thoughts, let go and let God handle all this weight on your shoulders, all the things I was worried about. When I walked in them rooms, I let everybody go. Family, friends, kids, it was like, screw all of them. I'm done. If I don't do this, they ain't gonna do me no good anyway. I wouldn't let nobody visit. I wouldn't take my car. I was done, and I walked out of there with this in my head. It took me a while to leave. I didn't want to leave. It got good to me. So yeah, this second step where I let God just, and I'm still doing the same thing today. I get up today and I give it all to Him. Like, hey, thank you for allowing me to be here. Let's run with this. You got me. Let's go. So yeah, them same steps still applying in my life. I'm 66 years old. 66 years old. I never thought I'd make 36 years old. And I quit when I was about 37. So it's crazy. So yeah, I've been blessed, and it's all because of this right here. These 12 steps, they work. And that's another thing they say in the rooms all the time. It works if you work it.
It works if you work it.
And people don't know how to work these steps. And they fall off and they go back, and they fall off and they go back. Working the steps is just getting in this book and reading the steps and applying them to your daily life. That's working the steps, and that's what I did to come out of this without having to use what I used to be so wildly addicted to. From 11 years old to the time I quit, I had to put something in my mouth to be normal, So yeah.
So then the focus of step 2 is to let go of your need to control everything and turn it over to God, let go and let God, and to be restored to sanity and have the willingness, the faith, the trust, and the humility to do what needs to be done for step 2. So let's look at step 3. Step 3 says we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Let me ask you this. How did you take action to turn your will over? This is a 2-part question. How did you take action to turn your will over? And how did your life change once you made the decision to turn it over?
Well, the biggest part of turning my will over was just asking for help. you know, asking for help. It's help out there when we need it. We got to drop that. I can do this and I can do that on my own, and we got to ask for help. Like anything else, or any other kind of disease. We got to get help. So as a result of me getting help, um, the changes that occurred in my life was just what they promised me. They promised me that if I went through these steps right here, and I followed this AA path, and I did what this book told me right here, as a result of these 12 steps, I would be happy. I would be happy. If I wasn't, I would be for the first time in my life, maybe, and that's what happens when you get your spirit back, you know. It said you be happy, you be joyous and free, a freedom that I felt for the first time in years since I was a kid. These are the changes that took place as a result of these 12 steps, asking God to, clean me up, this third step, I know, it was time to let him handle things, where my self-will, didn't allow that, So I didn't even know what to do. I had to have somebody tell me what to do. It's like being a kid all over again, adopting a new set of rules to live by. These 12 steps are those set of rules that allowed me to be happy, joyous, and free. I'm being honest with you when I say that from the time that I started doing this, since 1992, and I allowed God to take over my situation, and this became second nature to me. I haven't had a bad day since then. I haven't had a bad day since then. I'm not saying no bad things happened, but as a result of this, I started perceiving things differently. My old way of thinking was out the window, and I knew that I wasn't alone in this, and I knew that I didn't have anything to be ashamed of. That I was a human being, and I'm allowed to be flawed. And it's only bad if you don't try to do nothing about it. And I fought to achieve, just simplicity, just happiness, and I done that, and I still am to this day. I've had people die in my family, people that I loved and cared about. I've been up and down on financial situations, and this right here took me through all that. It taught me that people, places, and things, we become addicted to those things. And if you let them, they'll overrule you. They'll overrule your thought process, your mind, and they taught me that everything begins and ends with you. Everything begins and ends with you. So
Calvin put something. Calvin said that, and we can put that back up. I never had bad days, and people looked at me crazy for saying that. Mm-hmm. And people want you miserable with them. And he said, even in our change. That is so true.
You're right. You're right.
That is so true.
You're absolutely right, Calvin. You're absolutely right. And I ain't going for it. Yeah. Live your life. Live your life, whatever happens, the universe got you, it's like a lot of people, they choose their misery, we're going to go through some stuff, but they don't want to go through it. They want to stop halfway and hold on to the pain and squeeze on it and take a swim in it. See, we got to go all the way through, we're going to go through some stuff, but that don't mean that's going to rule your day. I refuse to give a whole 24 hours of my day to anybody that God gave me. I stopped doing that. I started treating myself well. So it didn't matter if somebody else did. I started treating myself good. You know, I used to think of everybody but me. You know, which put a lot of weight on my shoulders, trying to fix everybody else stuff. You know, take care of yourself first. Everything ends and begins with you. If you do you, you can do anybody. You know, but you got to take care of yourself first. AA they have a triangle, and then each thing they said, you know, at the end of these points, mind, body, spirit. You know, you got to keep a balance of those three. You got to keep a balance of those three. And if you keep them three balanced, you're on your way, you know. Keep your mind, your body, and your spirit intact. You know, most of us, our spirits are low. So we walk
He said
around.
he loved doing me. He said, I love doing me.
Amen to that. Yes. Life is good, you know. And I get up every day and give some good affirmations, and I pray at 7:30, and you know, and I go outside with that. You know what I mean? We work too hard. We don't smell the roses, you know.
Yeah.
God got it all laid out.
So with step 3, the main thing is you made a decision. You have the first thing with step 3, and we got like 3 or 4 minutes here. You made a decision. First thing you had to do was make a decision. You had to make that decision to turn your will and your lives over to the care of God. And he said, I don't ask questions. I don't concern myself with others. I love on everyone and keep a peace of mind.
Amen.
Amen.
You learned a lot quicker than I did. Yeah.
So the essence of step 3 is turning over your will, getting out of the way, and being restored to reality, honesty, balance, and peace of mind. So that's the whole essence of step 3 is turning over your will, getting out of the way, and being restored to reality, honesty, that like what you were talking about, the balance and peace of mind. You know, with the, what was it, the mind, body, and
mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah. So being returned to that balance and have that peace of mind. So is there anything that you need to add real quick?
I just want to encourage everybody who might have went through what I went through to take your time and your life in your hands. You know, go to AA meetings. You know, go them online, do them online. Get you a big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, and read it, and you'll understand more about what's going on with you. You know, about what's going on with your mind, and it'll give you some big old rules in there to make it easy for you to correct all that. Have a big smile on your face when you get up in the morning, chill bumps and stuff. You'll be all right. You know.
I just want to say this, that some of the contents tonight were taken from Jason and Ashley Waller on Google and from the AA Big Book. Bernard, I want to thank you so much for coming and being a guest on the show tonight.
Thank you, Mildred.
Yeah. And so just tell the people again how they could contact you.
You can contact me, John Hurd at Gmail, John Hurd 47 at gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay. So I want you guys to tune in next week for the round table on Let's Be Real About It. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel on I Heard Ministries, Saturday 4.22 Guest Towns. Special thanks to our viewers who watch the show nationally and internationally. I would love to hear from you. If the show have been a blessing, email me at iheartministries@gmail.com. And until next month, for the 12 steps, next month we'll be coming with steps 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. We'll be coming next month with step 4 and 5. So until next month, let the peace of God reign, rule, and abide in your hearts. I'm Mildred Towns. Thank you for watching.